Well, hello, and welcome back to my buddy Joe's garage and my wife's IS300 Sport Cross. It's 33 degrees, so I thought it'd be a good idea to vacuum a bit. This car about a year and a half ago, and in that time it has never actually been detailed at all in the interior. And I got it, and it hadn't really been taken super good care of. You know, there's some questionable things done to it. Knockoff Project Mew brakes, just stock ones, painted teal. Classy. And some fairly questionable stains throughout the interior. And then when my buddy John Ross cleaned his 3 Series, he used some of this Adams carpet and upholstery cleaner. This is not a sponsored video, I just kind of like this stuff. My content is above corporate sponsorship. Call me. I thought I'd give this a try and see what it does, and maybe provide a little bit of visual ASMR and some time lapses of me cleaning the carpets and other surfaces in this reasonably uncommon station wagon. So nothing I have here is really all that exotic. I've got Adams carpet and upholstery cleaner, some Meguiar's interior detailer, some microfibers, this drill attachment brush thing, which is actually quite soft, so I'm fairly certain that it's not going to damage any of my surfaces, a Harbor Freight right angle drill motor for said brush, and down there is a wet dry vac just to try and suck out any excess moisture, though honestly it'll probably dry up on its own, but usually you want to go in with the vacuum after you agitate the soap in. So the first thing to do here obviously is going to be to get everything out of the trunk, and I'm going to start back here with just vacuuming it, and then we'll go from there. The instructions say to spray liberally onto soiled areas, so I'm going to spray it on these stains and vote for Hillary Clinton. And then, oh, okay, that's stream. Ah, there we go, spray mode. There we go. Just gonna let that soak in a little bit. Overall, not a terrible showing back here, honestly. I mean, this short carpet sure seems to grab on stains really well. These seem to be some sort of adhesive that's actually just stuck into the carpet. I could not get them out at all. It did a really good job up here along the sides. There's some more of those weird black stains that I couldn't get out here. There wasn't much going on underneath the amp, so I just left it hooked up because I really don't have the stuff to take it off anyway. But where it worked the most impressive is somewhere I wasn't even filming. Back behind the driver headlight, there was a big old black spot, and it knocked it down to just a slightly grungy spot, which, I mean, it's not bad. Let's move forward a bit. These floor mats are seriously awful. What's underneath them? Quite a bit more awful, and some stains. So let's get the vacuum in here, take care of all this. The carpet back here really isn't all that bad except for around the edges and a really questionable spot right there. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that, but we'll give it a hit with the cleaner and see how it goes. Well, that was a pretty huge improvement. The big stain there on the side just pretty much went away entirely, and the entire border around where the floor mat used to sit is pretty much entirely taken care of now. The only thing before I go on to the other side is this incredibly questionable stain here on the center console. A little bit of quick detailer and a microfiber should clean that up pretty well. Before I do the other side, I'm just going to see what I can do here with this floor mat so I can get it put back in. That is what I'm talking about. Hopefully my head wasn't in the way for that entire thing. But oh my gosh, that just came clean so well. That is the sort of result I was hoping to see. I didn't read any instructions or anything before doing this. I just kind of, did it. So let's go ahead and vacuum that off. Yeah, that's pretty much a brand new looking floor mat. Let's get it in the car. Very nice. Let's move on to the other side. The floor mat is completely missing from this side, but it looks like it was here recently. Not sure what's up with that. Furthermore, this trim piece appears to be detached. Looks like all the clips are intact. Guess I'll put that back at some point. A few more pieces of change for the change drawer. I don't know, that actually looks pretty good. Not too many stains going on over here. I think I'll just grab some Meguiar's spray on the microfiber, wipe down this interior trim panel and install that. The thing with this is that it tends to catch on your leg as you're exiting the car and get ripped off. You can see a stress crack there from where it's almost broken before, but we'll just go ahead and throw this back in. There we go. That's good as new, or at least as good as the factory. Not exactly the most satisfying of snaps in, but it'll do. Now, I don't know what's going on here, but it ain't good. Hopefully we can make that go away, if nothing else. And then we've got an identical stain here on the inside of the center console part, just like the other side. I'll just do some general spraying of the whole area. Even if the fluid does nothing, I'd say the brush does a pretty good job of knocking stuff loose for the vacuum to get. So that's fairly useful, at least. Okay, time for the driver's seat. This is where the most time gets spent, so this is definitely the worst one. I've Googled what to do with this Alcantara. The texture is pretty trashed, but they say to saturate it with a cleaner and then try to lift it out with a microfiber towel. I think this might be a bit beyond that, but we'll give it a shot anyways. First, some vacuuming on the floor though. I should probably point out by now that I really don't know what I'm doing. I've just kind of bought these products and I'm trying to use them. I didn't watch any tutorials or anything, so if you're a real detailer, you probably don't want to watch this video. So what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to see if see how well it gets out some of these stains around the edges, and I'm also curious if I'm able to fluff up this carpet a little bit. So swing these out of the way and get some of the spray in here. Now, I don't know if I just go through this really quickly, if I'm using too much or what, but I'm about halfway through this spray so far, so keep that in mind. Okay, so not quite as good as I was expecting, but still better than it was. So let's take a look at this seat. I kind of lied earlier. The first rule of owning an Alcantara seat is not to get it dirty in the first place. That didn't really seem to do much except make this seat wet. Might revisit that later. In the meantime, time for the floor mat. Looks like we have some what appear to be burn marks or melted fibers here. Not gonna be able to do anything about that. Back in the car with that. Alright, so I'm probably going to do the other side off camera just because of how uninteresting it is, but I thought I would at least wipe down some of these disgusting surfaces inside the car. I have used this thing for rallycross, and you've got to have your windows down, so as a result, the interior is completely covered in dust. So yeah, that about does it. This wasn't a thorough, complete job. This was just trying to make the awful a little bit less awful for now. And I think I succeeded at that. This is a much more livable place now. I'm probably going to take it to a professional at this point to have the seats taken care of. Hopefully that's actually fixable and not just, completely ruined. Though if it is, seat covers maybe. Get some that are a little bit less worn. But as a whole, the car smells a lot nicer. It doesn't smell like feet anymore.